Good morning. I'd like to welcome everybody to the April 4th, 2024 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call, please. Here?
Here.
Here. Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No,
sir. Number 4, approval of the minutes of the meeting of March 28th, 2024.
Motion to approve those minutes.
And I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 5 is bid opening, demolitions for the following addresses. 1305 171st Street, 1037 Ames Street, 7132 Chestnut Avenue, the garage, 424 Goslin Street, aka 4504 Toll Avenue, 4208 Homan Avenue, 6349 through 6351 Jefferson Avenue, 4626 Johnson Avenue, the rear, 1170 Sibley, 5661 Soul Avenue, 944 State Street, 4636 Toll Avenue, front and garage, and 4636 Wood Avenue, the garage. Excuse me, 5436 Wood Avenue, the garage. And it looks like we have 5. The first one is from Acting Incorporated out of East Chicago, Indiana. Where's that? Yeah. Okay, Acton's, maybe it does have all that other stuff in it, Form 96. Yeah, I see the Form 96, the bid proposal, and the non-collusion affidavit. And Acton's bid is $158,990. Again, that's $158,990. Okay. Moving on to number 2, it's J&M Industrial Services out of Indiana. We have the bid proposal. We have the Form 96. And the non-collusion affidavit. JM Industrial Services bid is $112,900. Again, that's $112,900. Moving on to the third company is junktoro.com, junk removal services. We have the Form 96, the bid proposal, and the non-collusion affidavit. Now on this one, they didn't bid on several of the addresses. Should I read the ones they did?
Total.
Okay, the total is $47,000. And it looks like they bid on 3 of the properties. Do we need to give those out or no?
Nah, because they'll be. So just for any bidder, and I guess for the board, I think what we usually do is just refer them to inspections for review, and then Mr. Kearney reviews them on a property by property basis.
Gotcha.
And it doesn't hurt or help a bidder if they bid on all of them or if they bid on one property.
Gotcha.
They're looked at as on a property basis. At least Mr. Kearney's given the option to award on a property basis. So.
Okay,
Yep.
Then that total again was $47,000 for that company. Donegal. The next one is from, I guess it's Donegal, out of Lamont, Illinois.
Can you spell that?
Yes, it's Donegal. Diagonal, yeah. Services. We have the bid proposal. Individually? Yeah. Let's see if there's a total on the back, hopefully, yeah. Okay, this one does not have a total. Is there anybody here from that company? It does not have a total, and it doesn't have the Form 96 and non-collusion affidavit paperwork.
Are there, did he fill out a bid sheet? Did he fill out a bid sheet with pricing?
It looks like, Kevin, they're all done individually by each address.
Just refer him to inspections and legal, and we'll take a look.
There's no total. We'd have to total up ourselves if you want me to. We can't. Okay,
Don't need to do it. Just indicate, so you've indicated no Form 96, no non-collusion.
correct.
And is there a cover letter or anything like that?
No. No, literally, it just breaks down every one by what they're going to do and what they need to do, so.
We'll just show receipt of the bid and refer it to inspections like you would at the end anyway.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, the last company looks like RZ Services Incorporated. We have the non-collusion affidavit, the Form 96, and the bid proposal. And their bid is $199,100.
I'm sorry?
$199,100.
Request that the bids be referred to the law department and inspections for review and tabulation.
Motion to refer the bids to the law department and inspections for review, tabulation, and recommendation.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Moving on to matters from other department heads or their representatives. Anybody? Okay, moving on to 7, correspondence, letter A, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting $153,000 of CIB funding be allocated for the Toll Theater lot resurfacing project, and the recommendation of Nees Engineering to award the project to Dyer Construction Company, who was the lowest responsive and responsible bidder.
In February, this board opened quotes for the subject project. Dyer is the low bidder. The funding allocation was approved Monday night by the Capital Improvements Board, and we'd ask for your approval of the quote and the funding allocation, please.
Just to be clear that we're operating under the quote statute, not the bid statute, is that correct?
We are. It was the engineer's opinion that the project would come in less than $150,000.
I believe that it would. It's just
Yep.
that the agenda item says that they're the lowest responsive bidder, not quoter, so I just want to make sure that we're clear these are quoters.
These are quotes. Yep. I beg
Okay.
your pardon.
We will make that change. Thank you. Okay, and it was signed by the controller and the mayor.
A motion to accept Mr. Button's request as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Letter B, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting $589,000 of CIB funding be allocated for the Columbia Avenue Pell study and agreement for professional services with Lockmuir Group submitted for approval.
The City of Hammond received funding from the Northwestern Indiana Regional Planning Commission, 80% match of this project. What's shown here is the full amount of the project, which includes the local match. We have to do so because we have to create a purchase order and pay the entire amount and get reimbursed from NDOT for the work completed. So our portion is only about 118 grand. It's 80% of that number. The Columbia Avenue Pell study is a project Pell is a planning and environmental linkage study, and it's a precursor to determining what the real scope of this project's going to be. It's Columbia Avenue from 165th to Michigan. We know that we have aged infrastructure in that area. We have a failing roadway. We do want to do something in the near term on Columbia Avenue because we know it's bad, but there's a greater project involved that's going to take quite a bit of time to get to that point, in the hopes that we would seek federal funding as a direct recipient instead of going through the Regional Planning Commission. So this was approved, funding was approved for this by the Capital Improvement Board on Monday, and I'd ask for your approval of both the agreement, which is it's a LPA consultant agreement that's INDOT had pre-approved. We can get this in. It has to go in before the end of April because that's the cutoff at NERC and INDOT to get projects in the TIP this year. So it's important that we get this project approved in this month. I'd appreciate your concurrence on this.
Okay. And it was signed by the controller and the mayor.
Motion to approve Mr. Budden's request.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Letter C, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting $43,600 of CIB funding to be allocated for the Hammond North Approach at Sibley, an agreement for professional services with First Group Engineering submitted for approval.
This is construction engineering or observation of the project. We've reviewed the agreement and we're happy with the terms and conditions of the agreement. It's a standard First Group agreement. This was approved by the Capital Improvement Board on Monday, and we'd ask for your approval.
It was also signed by the controller and the mayor.
Motion to approve this request.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Letter D, correspondence received from William Short, Chief of Police, requesting the approval of the petition for retirement of Sergeant Robert Maldonado, who has served the citizens of Hammond for more than 29 years, effective at the close of business July 11th, 2024. The petition for retirement for Sergeant Randolph Chavez, I'll say, who has served the citizens of Hammond for more than 23 years, effective at the close of business May 31st, 2024. The resignation of Joseph Ivasic, effective the close of business April 15th, 2024, and the termination of Officer Andrew Atchison, effective the close of business March 28th, 2024. The reassignment of Officer Arthur Latiker from the Patrol Division to the Community Affairs, effective April 2nd, 2024. Officer Scott Denny, Benjamin Stombaugh, and Arthur Latiker will relinquish their FTO specialty pay, effective March 28th, 2024, and the approval for Officer Jeremy Sandilla to receive FTO specialty pay, effective March 28th, 2024.
Motion to approve Chief Short's request.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter E, correspondence received from Jeffrey Smith, Fire Chief, requesting the approval of the reassignment of Chief Inspector Danny Mishak to the rank of Private P, effective April 4th, 2024, with pay adjustment submitted for approval.
Motion to approve Chief Smith's request.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter F, correspondence received from Chris Campbell, Director of IT, requesting the approval of the Master Services Agreement for the Emergency Public Warning and Mass Notification Platform by Everbridge, submitted for approval.
IT requested legal to review this. I'd request its approval as submitted. It is for a emergency alert system that's being implemented by IT.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter G, correspondence received from Reith Riley Construction requesting alternating lane shifts on Summer Street from Indianapolis Boulevard to East 165th in order to begin curb replacements and casting adjustments starting April 10th, 2024 through May 10th, 2024.
This is the first of our two community crossings projects that we're starting. So it's Summer Street from the Boulevard to 165th. We've reviewed their request. We're keeping in mind that Michigan's going to be closed eventually. Summer Street will remain open. We'll always have one lane open in each direction. So that would be the next sort of main road to the south of the future closure on Michigan. We've reviewed this request and we'd ask for your approval.
Motion to approve Mr. Budden's request.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter H, correspondence received from Hammond Hermits requesting the residential parking be suspended for the day of Saturday, May 4th, 2024, and their inclement weather date of May 11th, 2024, due to the Hammond Hermits Opening Day Parade, and requesting approval for the Opening Day Parade with attached route. Is it the same route it's always been
Yeah, they changed it to 11 o'clock?
done?
9? Before
Requesting,
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter I, correspondence received from Aubrey Zelinka, Hammond Downtown Development, requesting to block off a portion of Fayette Street and the Arts Alley on June 14th, July 12th, August 9th, and September 13th, 2024, from 1 p.m. until 9:30 p.m. for the Farmers Market and Art Market, all of Fayette Street and the Arts Alley and Sibley, Oakley to Holman to be blocked off completely on June 14th, 2024, from 5 to 7 p.m. Also requesting Fayette Street past Foreign Locals parking lot, ending at the city's parking lot and utilizing the parking lot. For the Blues Cruise on the following dates, June 3rd, 10th, 17th, 24th, July 1st, 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th, and August 5th, 12th, 19th, and 26th, 2024, from 4:30 p.m. until 9:30 p.m. with attached routes. Wow.
She said to plan ahead, so I want to give them all the.
You sure did. I'm trying to put all these spots in my mind, so, I mean, does any problem that you can think of? Just with construction down there?
Construction, yeah, that's the only thing.
Well, the street's been shut down for 2 years already, so I figured no one would care.
So is this with keeping that in mind, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
With
I
the
kept
street
that
club?
in mind, yes. The only thing.
Do me a favor, come up here, yeah.
The only thing that I put in there is for the second line celebration, I put 2 options because I heard Homan may be done by mid-June. So if it's done by June 14th, we could use that route if that was okay. Otherwise, we can proceed through the Arts Alley if Homan is still shut down.
Okay. Dean, do you see any issues, or should we give this a little bit of time?
As we, I really have no objection to what the intent is. We should probably coordinate to make sure that there's, no issues with, as you said, construction downtown. We do intend on opening Holman Avenue, as was mentioned, mid-June, right? So, and I assume these are all weekend dates?
Yes, Saturday, except for the Monday, but that only includes the parking lot and Fayette Street from 5 to 9, I believe, for the car cruise night.
Yep.
Sorry, there's so many.
I mean, we really have no objections with the intent that's being planned here. We'll just have to coordinate if there's any, sort of, things that come up during the course of construction that could.
On the surface, we don't have any objection either, so I guess, do we need to give it time for you to make sure that this works?
When's your first event?
The first event is the first Blues Cruise, June 3rd.
Okay.
And then the big kickoff is June 14th.
Can I have a week just to compare notes to what we've got going on? But
Yeah,
I
and
think-
you don't have to be here next week. We'll contact you,
Okay.
but that'll give him time to look at everything
Okay.
you listed, okay?
The only question I had is, you said there's an attached route. Is that do you have a parade too, you said, or something?
Yes, so for the second line approval for the parade would be the one that I'm discussing, where if Homan is open, we could
Okay.
use that route. If it's not, we can just go through the Arts Alley. I'll give these to you. I have maps. And
Perfect.
all of it drawn up.
Okay, so then we're gonna give it a week. and give
Just,
you
yeah,
time
if I
to
could
look
have a
at it.
week to sort of review and, again, we have no objections, just want to make sure we're clear on what the plan is.
So we'll approve it for now pending make sure that the routes are okay and
Yep,
everything. Okay.
yeah, but if the first event is early June, then it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay,
Wonderful, thank you.
thank you. Pending that, yeah.
Motion to approve this request pending further investigation.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter J, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting the approval to install no parking signs from dusk till dawn, except scheduled game days, signs around the perimeter of Hermits Park to limit vandalism and graffiti activity at the park.
This was a request that came in from Hammond Hermits Athletic Association to put certain signs up around Hermits Park. There was a meeting by the administration, and we agree that these signs are reasonable, dusk till dawn. It sort of deviates a little bit from the request that was made by Hammond Hermits in that they asked for hard no parking times every day, and we thought that, really parks are to be open from dusk till dawn, but we recognize that Hermits plays games at night, and they have lights to facilitate that, so we want to make sure we accommodate that. But we respect the association's request that has been made to the city, and we're in favor of it, so we ask for your support on this.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Number 8, matters from board members. Either of you? Nothing? Number 9, new business. Letter A, order to rescind and release order to demolish for property located at 504 177th Street, submitted for approval.
So there's a closing on this property. This, you may recall, is at the corner of 177th and Harrison.
Yeah.
It's been fixed up, which is great. I'd request that the order to rescind be approved. Linda is going to confirm payment on 2 liens, and then once we get confirmation on that, she'll record it.
Okay.
Or send it to the title company, Meridian.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter B, order to rescind and release order to demolish for property located at 4344 Clark Avenue, submitted for approval.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I got a great photo from Mr. Pagic indicating that it's been demolished, so I assume that is right out the window. It's a good photo. We'd request that the order be approved.
So there's nothing there, is that what you're
Well, I
saying?
assume that pile's been removed, I assume by now, but
Just-
who knows?
okay.
Motion to approve the order.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter C, right-of-way permits, 4 of them received from engineering, submitted for approval.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mark.
Not too much of a major issues. 165th, they're pulling some new cable through existing conduits. There's 150th and east of 150th Place. They're going to be working on a Wolvertine pipeline on NIPSCO's property, so they want to just close it for a time being with flaggers, just to unload equipment. So I imagine that would take a day, maybe at the most.
On 150th?
Yes,
Okay.
so there shouldn't be any issue with that. And another one was from Passion for Holman in Michigan, to reconfigure some of the traffic signals, but that's going to be done under traffic with flaggers and 1 day only. So I would recommend approval.
Okay.
And that's April 15th.
Okay, thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Motion to approve the right-of-way permits.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter D, request for rental registration hearing, submitted for approval.
Motion to set the date for April 18th, 2024.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter E, garage sale permits, submitted for approval. Harrison, 2 days. Where's down? Yeah, there.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Moving on to number 10, old business. Letter A, gas station status updates for 6845 Indianapolis Boulevard.
$68.45, okay. Tom?
Yeah.
This of course is the, oh wait, I got the wrong, oh yeah, it's 6845 Indianapolis Boulevard, AKA 2769th. That's the Citgo Gas and Woodmar Food Mart. Is anybody here from the owner?
Yeah. he's-
Okay, you can come on up on this side. So I thought I sent a letter out. I don't see it in my file here. Did I send a letter regarding today's date? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I sent a letter to the owner indicating that this board was going to consider rescinding the 24-hour exemption that it was given back in November based on non-compliance with the city's order, this board's order. Specifically, there were several conditions that Mr. Novak indicated were required. This board then made that part of its order and said that if you want to stay open, basically I'm paraphrasing, if you want to stay open 24 hours, you need to comply with the conditions. Mr. Novak reported to this board several weeks ago, I believe it was right before maybe the 21st of March or thereabouts, that they had complied with nothing. that's a concern. This is a privilege, it's not a right to be open 24 hours, and we didn't have a hearing here just to have a hearing and then blow off the city. So I'd like to hear from the owner as to what his response is as to why he should be able to continue to stay open 24 hours when basically they've done nothing, so.
Most of the conditions, we already done it, almost everything right now. We already emailed to Mr. Novak.
Go ahead, Tom.
We have all the paperwork here.
Yeah, so I know, so I was on vacation the last 5 or 6 days. So, but before vacation, I did receive a permit for a dumpster enclosure by all-type fence, but we had the same issue prior, where what was proposed was a chain link fence, and that's not allowed per ordinance. It has to be some kind of real privacy fence. He does indicate that he sent me an email. I apologize if I haven't worked through my emails to that one yet, but I know some of the issues were just stuff like painting over graffiti, fixing the soffit that was broken, where birds were going in, stuff like that, striping some spaces, fixing a fence, I never saw a permit for all those issues, so I don't. My understanding was you were gonna have somebody come in the next couple of months and get estimates and things. Did you have any estimates for those repairs, or?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, can we have your name, please?
Yadvinder Khatra.
Okay. And are you saying that today that the things that you were asked to fix, you've done already?
We almost done.
You're almost done?
Yes, we are left only one step. We already signed up with those people. It should be done anytime, like the garbage system.
So what is left to do in your estimation?
Nothing.
Nothing is left to do?
Nothing is left.
So then you're done then, not
Yes, sir.
almost done?
Yes.
Okay.
But we already signed up with the fence on the garbage dumpster. It should be done this week, last
Okay.
one. We already signed up with those people.
Can we ask why you took so long
Because
in starting and completing the repairs that were asked of you?
Because the weather permits is something, they have to open the weather. We are waiting for those.
Tom, does that make any sense to you?
Well, I guess what was so there were like soffit repairs, painting, fence repair. I mean, was there a contractor he hired, or was it a handyman?
Because no permits were pulled, right?
Did you see any today?
I mean, there's a list on page 5 and 6 of our order back from November. I mean, it goes on, signage blocking more than 25% of the windows, temporary and permanent signs in the windows and on bollards without a permit, large yellow sign on the fence by the alley, no striping observed of the parking lot surface for parking spaces, ADA spot. The north end of the lot was unpaved and is gas station property. If cars are parking there, it needs to be paved and drained. The parking lot, when it is developed, the parking lot to the north has to include certain requirements, fenced-in dumpster, and just kind of as another aside, just given the frame of reference by the board, on November 28th is when the board signed the order.
Right.
They were cited on December 4th by the city on basically just vegetation on lawns, alley lines, and parkways were not maintained, and there was trash. So, it sounds like Mr. Novak and Mr. Katra need to meet maybe one more time to determine where we're at, and maybe set this over for 2 weeks to allow Tom to give a better update. I know he's been out of town. And that'll also allow Mr. Katra some time to show Tom what he believes is getting done.
Sir, so Mr. Novak is going to come visit the gas station because you're saying today that those repairs have been made.
Yes, sir.
We're saying maybe they haven't. So we need to get on the same page as far as that's concerned. But I don't like the fact that you took as long as you did, because when we did this, we did it in good faith that you were going to make the repairs as soon as possible. It doesn't seem like you did, but we're going to give you a benefit of the doubt. So we're going to have you meet with Mr. Novak and meet about this again in 2 weeks. And I hope that the repairs have been completed by that time.
Thank you, sir.
Because if not, it's very likely you'll lose that privilege to stay open 24 hours.
I take care of it.
Okay. So we're going to set it.
Yeah, I can go out there on one of my lunches or something. Yeah.
So we'll set it for status for 2 weeks?
2 weeks give me enough time?
That gives me enough time. I'll be
I know
free, I
this one.
believe. Yeah. That's April 28th or
I mean,
25th. 18th. April.
Kevin,
That's
Tom
fine,
hasn't
that's
been
fine.
there for 5 or 6 days. If he's alleging they're all done, it should just.
No, exactly. I will admit I'm sorry to the board that I did not take a drive-by.
No, it's okay. I'm just saying it should be just as easy you driving over there
Yes,
taking a look
yes,
real
yes.
quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Should be enough, I think, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
2 weeks
Yeah, oh,
is
yeah.
good? Okay. So is a week good enough?
I want to get, Tom's just getting back. I want to make
Okay,
sure he's got
okay.
time to give us a report if he needs to, so if we could get 2 weeks.
Gotcha.
Motion to set the matter for status for April 18th, 2024.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
you.
sir. Thank you.
So that's fine, show that stuff.
Okay, letter B, status for 1430
I
Stanton.
haven't been by the property.
Yes, to the board, I'm just checking my notes here, sorry, I had to get
Okay.
them sent to
Okay.
me because I forgot my file. This is the one with Mr. Grabarczyk, I see or I don't know if he's here today, but Mr. Luter is. Just to give the board a little quick update as to what happened last time, Mr. Grabarczyk was here before the board on March 21st. He appeared and mentioned that he had run into a little bit of financial difficulty, had moved again. You may recall he said he was moving in with his mom. And so he had borrowed $50,000 for the project, and he's gone through it. You may recall all that. Bill was going to want to inspect the interior of the property. I think he's done that. And I believe it was set then for status today, and I think Mr. Luter is going to report that he needs another 90 days, and we're going to prepare that rehab agreement. And
Yes,
extend it.
that's correct.
So set it for status for 90 days?
Set it for status for 90. Between now and then, you will get a rehab agreement signed probably in the next week, but we won't set it for status again. We learned our lesson on the calendaring, so.
Is July 11th okay?
Yeah, why don't we go another week in case he takes a little bit of time?
July 18th?
Yeah, is that the middle of Fest? Do we care?
That's what-
We're usually here, right?
We're here, yeah. July 25th?
Or 25th? July
July
25th.
25th it is.
Yes.
Yeah, please.
All right.
Okay.
Motion to set the matter for status for July 25th, 2024.
I second that.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Moving on to letter C, status for 4919 Pine.
So 4919 Pine, Mr. Luter will present to you an extension. I do want to at least just set the record on this. 4919 Pine, in April, last April 27th, there's a rehab signed by Miss Yonisha Mitchell, and we set it for status in June of last year, and then we kind of didn't hear anything. It was set for status again in March. Ms. Mitchell did not appear on March 21st. It was set for today to determine if it should be demoed because we do have it bid. There was no contact with the owner. Mr. Luter was going to try to contact the owner. He did that. He visited the site, and we do have a 90-day extension to present. So if we could get a status date right around the date of that expiration, which should be at the top.
June 21st, so right around.
Is it a 60-day? 60-day must have been.
No, it was, I'm not
90?
sure, but it was 60, yeah.
Oh, it was from March. I'm
March,
sorry.
yeah,
Yep,
March.
we're good.
You want to do the 20th or the 27th of June?
Let's do the 20th, if that's
20th
okay.
of June, okay.
Motion to set the matter for status for June 20th, 2024.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yep.
Letter D, status for 6349 through 6351 Jefferson Avenue.
Okay, I believe that the owner's daughter is on Zoom. I'm hoping we can hear her today.
Good morning, ma'am.
I'm here.
Okay, great.
Good morning.
Just for the record again, can you give us your name, please?
Christina Fulton.
Thank you.
I didn't get that.
Well, spell the last name for us.
Fulton, Fulton.
Oh, Fulton. Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so again, just real quick, back in February 22nd, we wondered if the inspection had been paid for. She mentioned that she was on her way to pay for it. We did, however, bid it out, and I believe it's on the bid list for today.
It was.
That was accepted. And so I think we're just waiting for an update from Mr. Luter and then, of course, Ms. Fulton. So, Mr. Luter,
I did have contact with Ms. Fulton on the phone. I believe the bond right now is the holdup, either the cash or improvement bond. So I'm just going to turn over to her and let her state her case, see where she's at with that.
Has the inspection fee been paid?
Inspection's been completed, the report's been done, rehab agreement, I believe, was signed
Okay.
and approved. We're just waiting.
I don't know about that. I don't know if it was actually approved yet. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it might have been presented to Ms. Fulton, but I'm not sure it's been.
Well,
approved by
yeah, I
the
do
board.
believe that maybe I told her that she needed to review it and really think it over because it was going to be a financial burden for her and her family. But I understand where she's at with the house. It was her father's house. He did a lot of artwork and stuff inside the house that we're going to do the best we can for them to preserve because the walls were in good shape. Really just want to work with her, and I believe she wants her oldest son to move into the house.
Okay, Ms. Fulton, can you just please let us know where you're at with the property and what your plans are?
Our plans were to keep the house and do all the things. And yes, we've been really thinking about it because it is going to be a financial burden on all of us. And with everything going on, after I did the visit with him, Bill came to the house. A couple days later, 2 women with a crowbar dented my front door in, trying to get into my house. My brother-in-law happened to be there and asked them what they wanted, and they said they needed to come in. But when I talked to Bill, he said they didn't send nobody over there. These 2 women came into my father's house and marked 2 walls with some red tape and then left. We never heard anything about it. I talked to Bill. He said he didn't send anybody. I still haven't found out who those 2 people were. My first intention was to try to fix the house, and I think that we are gonna try to get I've actually contacted, you probably won't be able to see them, but these cards keep coming in the mail for investors to come and buy the house. And I've got another one coming today at 11:30 because it is gonna be a huge financial. And on March 12th, I had a seizure, and I haven't had seizures in 25 years. And all the stress, I think, is just getting to me.
So it sounds like Ms. Fulton is considering selling the home, and if so, I just want to remind her that she would have to give the information of any buyer to Mr. Luter, to the city, as well as making sure they understand it's under a demolition order. If she needs some time to determine whether she's going to sell it or not, I think we're happy to give her that. And, you know, just because we've opened bids today doesn't mean that the wrecking ball's coming. I mean, we'd like to see the house rehabbed, if possible, either by her, or if it's too much of a burden on her family, which we totally understand, then by whoever the new purchaser is. So, Ms. Fulton, if we reset this matter for 3 weeks, would that give you enough time to kind of consider your options?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was under the impression it was being taken off the demolition list when I paid the $150.
So all that does is it stays the enforcement of the demolition. So when you, in other words, when somebody pays the $150, that means that the inspection report is made, which Mr. Luter did, and then a rehab agreement is prepared. The rehab agreement is only good if the person signs it, it's approved by the board, and then you post the $10,000 bond, so then you can begin work. So.
And that was part of the problem, because the place that he sent me to, I was told that they would take a payment, and then they would put up the insurance bond. And what that place is telling me is that I have to come up with $500, and then I have to have $10,000 in my account.
Yeah,
I've already got $15,000 in my dad's house. I don't have $10,000 in my account.
And the board would consider reducing the bond if there was a plan to move forward, but to do that, I would assume that we would need either a construction loan or some loan from the bank or proof that you have the money to do the rehab. So I think, again, we appreciate the fact that you're trying to do what's best for your family, either through selling the home or by considering rehab of it if you can financially do it. So if we give you 3 weeks, that should at least give you some time to make those determinations. Is that okay with you? And nothing's going to happen to the home.
Yes.
Permits won't be issued for demolition or anything like that between now and then. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. And I know this is hard on you, and I know it's your dad's home, so we're trying to do whatever we can to give you time to make whatever decision you need to make on it, okay? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Motion to set the matter for status for April 25th, 2024.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, thank you, Ms. Fulton.
Thank you.
Okay, letter E, a notice of violation hearing for 715 through 717 Hewen Street. Thank you.
Good morning, Board.
Morning.
The property was inspected on February 29, 2024 by myself and Inspector Bill Luter. Came to determine that the basement area was being used as a basement garden apartment, and it did not meet the requirements to be occupied, not having 7-foot ceilings, no egress windows, everything like that. The owner signed a deed restriction which states that in the event of the property being sold, the new owner would become responsible for the removal. They are not renting the apartment anymore. They were notified not to. They're using it as, it technically has office space as well. So it is used as the bar. It's a bar area office space. So it is not to be rented right now, but it has been signed and we just need to have it recorded.
So no action necessary, or just okay the?
Just
order?
okay the deed
Okay,
restriction
the
to
deed
be
restriction,
recorded.
okay.
Motion to approve the deed restriction.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter F, the business license hearing for Hank's Auto Sales, 1174 Summer Street.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I was hoping that they waived that late fee. I don't know how I've missed it. 30 years I've been Hank's, I've never missed a payment.
Can you give us your name, please?
Hank Ruiz,
Thank you very much.
and I think they made a change last year where you could pay the fee in June. It changed to December, so somehow it got mixed up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, so we're here for Hank's Auto Sale Incorporated. The records do reflect that he has maintained a valid license beginning in 2004 all the way through 2023. And he is right to his recollection. It does appear that the automobile new and used sales licenses were previously set to expire at the end of December every year. And then in 22-23 is when we reverted everything to expire in June 30th. So that was a change for Mr. Ruiz here. So we are here only for 2024. So the last license that he had expired 6/30 of 23. So most likely that was probably the issue, is the change in expiration date. So
Okay.
we have no other issues to report from code enforcement as far as the business operation is concerned.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to waive the late fee.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay,
Right.
we're waiving the late fee, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in today.
So I can pay my $100 and get the license today?
Correct,
Yeah, just
yes.
wait till after the meeting. She'll
Yeah.
get you the paperwork that you need.
Okay.
Okay? What's that?
You have the form for it?
I handed it to.
Yeah, I have it, yeah,
Mhm.
right.
Thank you.
Okay, meeting now is open to the public. Would anybody like to speak?
Mr. Wayne?
I don't think anybody would because of the praxis you used today to conduct the meeting.
The praxis,
His
she's,
praxis was on point, so probably nobody wants to say anything.
okay, we're ready.
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.